This looks scary. Ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, are you guys ready for a scary story? It's really bright. Can you tell it's really bright on my face? Make it smaller. Spooky Ghost is going to sleep. Oh, there you are. Aw, okay. Well, I'm glad you could stop by for a bit, Spooky. You sleep well, okay? And I didn't get a chance to read it thoroughly, but you said your heat is broken today too, right? Hopefully you guys can get it fixed without too much hassle soon. Alright. You guys ready? Here's a story. Late at night, I usually go to the bathroom multiple times. But for the past 4 days, every time I go to leave, I can see myself still standing in the mirror from the corner of my eye. It's like the other me is watching me leave the bathroom. It terrifies me to the point where I almost run out without looking directly at the mirror. I never told my husband about it because I didn't want to acknowledge it out loud. Earlier today, I took a nap in our bed while he sat in the chair next to it, watching TV. When I woke up, he told me that he had seen me sit up and crawl backward to the edge of the bed and stand up in front of our bedroom door from the corner of his eye. He thought it was weird that I got up like that because I'm in the last months of my pregnancy and I can't really move so well without it hurting, so he tried talking to me. When I didn't answer, he looked at the door to find me not there and still sleeping in my bed. I got really creeped out and I finally told him about what I had been seeing in the bathroom. He thought it was creepy as well, but didn't really want to talk about it anymore because he thinks it will give whatever it is power or energy. I have no idea what it wants or why we both saw it. Creepy. These are apparently true stories from Reddit. Interesting. Okay, we'll read another. Haunted hotels. Oh, this sounds creepy. When I was 15, I traveled to Europe with my family. We stayed in Atal, Germany, in a small inn for a few nights. My parents had a double bed on the second floor. My sisters had the double bedroom next to theirs. I was lucky enough to have a single room all to myself at the far end of the hall. When we went to check into our rooms, as soon as I entered the hallway our rooms were in, I remember almost feeling as though I walked into a wall of bad energy. Ew, that's so creepy. I just felt so unnerved and uneasy in that hallway, but I passed it off as an overreactive imagination. I slept the first night without any issue other than waking up a few times. The next morning at breakfast, one of my sisters mentioned feeling really uncomfortable in the hallway, almost as if the air was crushing. It unnerved me even more that I wasn't the only one who felt weirded out. Plus, she was an adult at that time, so it further cemented in my head that that wing of the hotel was odd. Later that night, I'm sleeping peacefully, when at about 2 a.m., I'm woken by something ripping the covers off of me and being jerked about 2 feet towards the end of my bed by my ankle. At first, I thought someone had broken into my room because when I turned towards what had grabbed me, a huge looming black shape was visible in the darkness, like a man was in my room. I frantically flipped the light on, only to have there been nothing there. The window was locked from the inside. There was no one in the closet or the bathroom. And my room was also still locked from the inside. Ew, I hate it. I stayed up the rest of the night scared, playing Cooking Mama on my DS. The next morning, we're at breakfast, and my sister mentions that she was up half the night because she thought she saw a person silhouetted against the wall of the room. But when she turned on the light, there was no one there. It was just a bizarre and creepy experience. We checked out that day, so I didn't experience anything after that. That's creepy. I don't like that one. That one is pretty creepy. Something grabbed her by the ankles. Okay. How about family reunion? Family reunion? Let's do it. Oh, Skets, I'm glad you're excited. Okay. One day when my daughter was 2, we were having a typical terrible twos moment. She was throwing a bit of a tantrum for about 5 to 10 minutes and we couldn't get her under control. At some point, she rather suddenly stopped and started staring at the wall. She then started lightly giggling. Ew, that's so creepy. It was weird. 1 second she's crying and screaming, and the next she's smiling and happy. Then she starts saying, "Funny lady," over and over again. That's so creepy. Funny. She starts saying "funny lady" over and over. We asked her who she saw, and she pointed to the wall and again said, "The funny lady." Oh god, that's so creepy. When we asked her to describe who she saw, she said she described my deceased grandmother. I mean, exactly described her. She had never met her, and I don't think she had ever seen a picture. Not that a 2-year-old could remember a picture. I am not much of a believer in the paranormal, but I know for sure that my daughter got a chance to meet my mom, and that makes me happy. When I told this story to my parents, they didn't seem as shocked as I was. When I tried to get a response from them, they looked at me and said, "I guess you don't remember that you met your deceased grandfather when you were 3. The same thing happened to you 30 years ago." Interesting. Makes her happy, right? I'd burn the house down and pour holy water. Kids can be so creepy. Just starts laughing and says "funny lady." I would just, God, that's awful. Okay, what next? Okay, this one seems good. Okay. During August 2018, my friends and I took a road trip from New York City to Rhode Island. None of us had been to Rhode Island before, so we were excited about the drive, especially because we had rented a Mustang convertible for it. We left a little later than expected. It was about 10:30 p.m., and since it was a busy Friday night, we decided to punch our destination into the Waze traffic app to beat the traffic. Eventually, we started losing steam. So, the music got weird. We'll get back to creepy. Hold on. There, that's good. Eventually, we started losing steam, so my friend in the back seat fell asleep, and I just kept driving along quietly. When my friend in the passenger seat told me to exit the freeway to take a side road. At first, driving on the unlit, winding back roads was relaxing, but then the wind picked up, and it got increasingly foggy and misty. I wasn't scared per se, just a little on edge. I thought about pulling over to put the top up, but decided against it since there were no cars in sight, so they're just in a convertible driving around the dark road. Heavy rain was projected for the entire weekend, so I wanted to get the most out of the convertible. So I kept going along as normal, if not a little too fast to get back to the main road as quickly as possible, when something just shifted. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Where were we? Okay, I kept going along as normal, if not a little too fast to get back to the main roads as quickly as possible, when something just shifted. I don't know how to explain it, other than an unsettling, exposed feeling. I remember pulling my sweater over my legs to cover up. Then my friend up front told me to look at the street sign in the distance. It read "Purgatory." We woke up our friend in the back seat, who sort of scoffed. Seconds later, we went around a bend where a large cross was installed on the side of the road with nothing else in sight. We just shrugged it off as a creepy coincidence. By then we were kind of joking about and indulging in the spookiness. But around the next bend, a big truck came hurtling down the one-lane road, aimed straight at us. Luckily, my impulse was to swerve a little to the side, otherwise it would have resulted in a head-on collision. My friend tried to get his license plate number, but he sped off, while my other friend found the quickest route away from this road. We didn't really discuss what happened afterwards because we were too creeped out, and haven't talked about it since. While writing this story, I decided to look it up. I spent an hour trying to retrace our route and found the little road. It was indeed named Purgatory, and though we didn't notice it at the time, Google Maps revealed that Purgatory Road was situated next to an old graveyard. Curious about this road, I researched it further and discovered that 2 teen girls had died there in August of 2011 in an accident on their way to visit the grave of Rhode Island's famous vampire, Mercy Brown, who died in 1892. Apparently, they decided to go for a drive down this dark, windy road because they thought it looked haunted. Woohoo. Woohoo. Okay, we need one more. We need a good one. I need a good one. Where's a good one? We need an actually scary one. Oh, these are books. You know what's scary? Missing ministries. Car crashes. Yeah, true. The best scary ghost stories. Okay. The Surrency clan, I don't know what that is, began experiencing paranormal activities in present-day Surrency, Georgia in the 1870s. Family members reported witnessing objects soaring across rooms, hearing laughter and crying, and seeing red eyes staring into the house. Food was thrown from their plates and utensils twisted into unusable shapes. The townspeople speculated that these occurrences were cries for help from spirits who thought the family would be able to save them. One day, the family decided to finally leave the house. A fire iron allegedly floated up and started hitting one of the sons on the head. No one was ever brave enough to live that house in again, and it went up in flames in 1925. Creepy. Rhode Island's favorite vampire, I know, right? Okay. How about one final one? Dead Woman's Crossing. Yeah, that sounds good. Last horror story, okay? Last one. Hi, Fenris. Yeah, just scary stories. Hi, Godlike Goose. Oh, hello. Good to have you. How's it going today? All right. I'm just Googling random stories. Okay, this one's a regular murder mystery turned ghost story. In the early 1900s, Weatherford, Oklahoma, Katie DeWitt James left her home with her baby after she filed for divorce from her husband. She planned to move in with her cousin, but her family never heard from her. After an investigation, it turned out that she moved in with local prostitute Franny Norton. She was last seen leaving the house with Franny and her child in a carriage. Franny returned with the child, who was covered in blood, but without Katie. What? She was last seen leaving the house with Franny and her child in a carriage. Franny returned with only the child and covered in blood. Her body was found later along a nearby creek with her head cut off. It was rumored that her ex-husband had her killed with Franny's help, but Franny claimed she wasn't involved in Katie's death. But on the day she was supposed to be questioned by the police, she poisoned herself. Katie's still around though. She allegedly appears as a blue light floating around town. And people have reported hearing a woman looking for her baby and the rolling sound of wheels. That's so creepy. I don't like it. Sorry, I have to unplug something 1 second. That was creepy. Okay, there. I'm up. I'm back. Well, there we go. Spooky stories for the night. I mean, to start our night. I hope you like them. Did you have a favorite? Was there one you guys liked the most? I think the creepiest one was the one in the hotel when the ghost grabs her foot. I hate that. It makes it like, do you guys, okay, are you guys like this? When I sleep, I have to have like my feet under a blanket at all times. Like, even if it's the middle of the summer and I'm hot, I feel like something is gonna get my toes if I leave them out. Are you guys like that? I cannot have my feet out of a blanket. I feel so like, I feel like I'm gonna get grabbed, and I've always been like that. I hate it. I hate the idea of having your feet out while you're sleeping.